This is a very, very traditional yoga summer, well, it's a solstice and equinox practice. This week, they are different ones, but this week's theme. So it's incredibly traditional. I'm not a great one for chanting, but if you wanted to chant on each, you do each thing, it represents the 5 bodies, 5 kind of emotional aura sheaths around you, each one reflecting a different part of the body, but obviously not that mentally. So it reflects a complete whole, and at a time of spring or autumn, there is a natural kind of change or a detox, or the systems change, body systems change as well. So I'm going to, you don't have to chant at all, and I am not great, but the first, I'll read it to you. When you breathe out, this is optional, and I will drop the chanting probably after about the first one. But as you breathe out on the first round, it's ma, aham, which is aham, aham again, and then anam. So that's the most gross part of the body. Ma, aham, aham, pranyam, the prana. Ma, aham, aham, mana, which is more mind. And then you go to the finer elements of the mind. Ma, aham, aham, vijnanam. And you can see why you won't remember this. And then ma, aham, aham, anandam. So I might do the first one, and then after that you can just count to 5, or not count, or just enjoy it as it is. And it calls into something in Ayurveda called the Panchamaya, the 5 levels. So it calls into, it just kind of reminds you of your existence, of your particularly relevant at the solstice and equinox time. So that was that. But as I said, as you know, I'm not a great one for chanting. This is incredibly traditional yoga, and so there are other practices. So this is the one today. So just come to samastiti. They even call it differently in this traditional one, which is standing, or tadasana. But in this practice, in this tradition, it's called samastiti. So it's equal weight on both feet, equal weight, front and back, just lifting at the chest, lifting, rolling the shoulders, and taking a moment or two to become aware of the whole body, which includes elements of the mind. And then very, very gently breathing in, stretching up, and optionally, because I'm going to get it wrong, breathing out, ma, aham, aham, anam, I've got to look. And then as you breathe in again, it is ma, aham, aham, and it's pranyam. I've got to peer. The next one is mana. So as you breathe in, stretching up. And it's ma, aham, aham, mana. And then the next one is vijnanam. Vijna and anam. Vijna anam. So breathing in, stretching up. Ma, aham, aha. Anam, vijnanam. I need someone here who's an expert in Sanskrit. And the last one is anandam. So breathing in. Ma, aha, ham, anandam. So just lift and roll the shoulders. And then the next are optional. I'll just try and remember what they are, but you don't have to do anything. So stepping with your left foot forward, right foot out at about an angle of 45 degrees. If your balance isn't great, then put your left foot out a little bit further to the left so that you've got the balance. And breathing in, stretching up. So the first one is anam. So it's ma, aham, aham, anam. Touching your hands to either side, or if that's too low, onto your shins. Breathing in, rolling up, stretching up. And the next one is pranam. So it's ma, aham, aham, pranam. Pressing your foot down and rolling up. Try and keep the weight even. So the next one is manam. Mana. So breathing in, ma, aha, aham, mana, manam. Sorry, I'm not a very good leader on this. And then pressing your foot down. The next one is the Vishnya Anam. So pressing in. And ma, aham, aham, Vishnya Anam. And then pressing down. The next one is Ananda. So it's ma, aham, aham, Ananda. Pressing in. And then I'm interested in your feedback. I'll do almost just one extra, just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if that makes it easier or whether it's not so nice. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then coming up. Did you prefer the counting, or did you actually like the Sanskrit?
I think the counting's a bit easier because to be honest, after you said the first one, I couldn't remember the first
I've got the greatest step your foot back.
From that point of view, yes, probably. But if someone else is doing it, then that's fine.
So you can choose to count out loud, or if not out loud, or not count at all. We can stick to the chanting, which, as I said, I'm not your greatest leader here, but stepping with your right foot forward in terms of the chanting bit. So the first one is Anam, the next one is Pranyam, the next one is Mana, M-A-N-A-H, the next one is Vishnyananam, Vishnyanam, and the next one is Anandam. We'll just count mentally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So breathing in, stretching up, and then it would be Ma, Nam, and Anam, Amam, Aham, Ana. Sit down, pressing your feet up. So the next one is Pranyam. So it's breathing out, Ma, Aham, Aham, Pranyam. Pressing your feet down. Next one is Mana, M-A-N-M-A-H. Ma, Aham, Aham, Mana. And then it's Vishnyanam. Ma, Aham, Aham, Vishnyanam. And the last one is Anandam. Ma, Aham, Aham, Anandam. And then lowering the hands and stepping back with the right foot. And then we might just do 5, count to 5. So breathing in, we're coming forward, breathing and stretching up. Just mentally, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press your feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Just now. Breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pressing your feet down and rolling up again. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. last one. 1, 2, 3. Hands together at the heart centre, and we're going to come to line, just letting the energy that we created absorb into the body. But you would know me that I'm not going to let you lie entirely. So just classic lying down is palms up, but palms can be down. Your knees can be bent if you feel that your back needs a little bit of support at the moment. But again, I'm going to go quite classic and invite you to stretch your legs out along the mat. And just extend your right heel and release and relax the right leg. And extend the left heel and release and relax the left leg. Extend both heels and then release and relax. And then focusing on the left ankle, just circle the left ankle a few times in one direction. And then reverse that circle, moving the foot a few times in the opposite direction. And then just extend the heel and spread the toes and relax them. And spread them and relax them. And spread them again. And then release the left foot, just let it drop out to the side. And then extend the right foot and just circle the right foot a few times in one direction. And then circle the foot a few times in the opposite direction. And then extend the heel and just spread the toes and relax. And extend the right heel, spreading the toes and just release and relax. And one more time, just extend the right heel, spread the toes and release and relax. And then let the right foot fall out to the side. So breathing in, raise the left arm. You can bend it at the elbow and just stretch the left arm up above you. Your left arm elbow can be bent, or you can stretch your left arm really straight out behind you, mindful of what might be behind you, and then breathing out, lower the left arm back down alongside you, either palms down or palms up. And then breathing in, raise the right arm and stretch the right arm out, back behind you. You can keep the elbow bent or stretch the arm out if there's space. And then breathing out, lower the right arm. And then this time, extend both heels and raise both arms up above you, keeping the elbows either bent or just stretching out, whatever works for you. Stretching and then breathing out, lower the arms and just relax the legs. Have your hands either palms down alongside you or palms on your abdomen. And as you breathe out, just turn the head to the left, giving the weight of the head to the ground. And as you keep your head to the left and take an in and an out breath. And then breathing in, bring the head back to the centre, and breathing out, just very gently let the head turn towards the right side, as little or as much as you would like. Stay here for an in and an out breath. And then when you're ready, bring the head back to the centre. And now palms down alongside you as you bend one knee and then bend the other knee. So your knees are up to the ceiling and your feet are on the mat, about hip widths apart. They can be wider. And just enjoy letting the knees drift a little bit from side to side. As the knees drift to one side, you can lift the opposite hip off the ground. And then breathing in, bring the knees back to the centre. And just as you breathe out, let the knees drift to the opposite side. And so your hip will lift off the ground. And then just very gently sway the knees from side to side. The greater the distance your feet are apart, the more your knees will drop into the centre, which will be potentially more restful on your back. So you can have your feet and adjust them to wider than hip width apart. And your hip will lift one side and then the other. You're massaging across the top of the bottom. And you might find that your head joins in a little bit as well. And then turning from the side to side. And then bringing the head back to the centre, the knees back to the centre. Keep the elbows where they are, resting on the ground, but just lift the hands slightly. And just circle the wrists a few times in one direction. Just noticing if you make a full rotation. Doesn't matter if you don't, but it's just we tend to skip or jump our circles and then rotate the wrists in the opposite directions. And then before, just stretch the fingers out and then just release and relax, let them curl back in a little bit. And then stretch the fingers out and just let them curl back in and stretch them out again and let them curl back in. And then keeping your right foot where it is, but feel free to make any adjustments that feel natural for you. Hug the left knee into the chest. Just holding the left knee into the chest. And just start to make some tiny circles. You're still holding your left knee into your chest in one direction. So the hips represent, if you correlate parts of the body with the emotions, where we're going in life, our move forward, our path forward in life. And then circle and move in the opposite direction. And can often become slightly stiff, as we know. But there sometimes is a mental aspect there too, of not knowing our path forward in life. And then dropping the hands behind the left thigh and just extending the left leg up to the ceiling. You can keep the left knee bent. Just flex the left heel and point the left toes a couple of times. And you'll feel the stretch on the back of the left leg. And then release that. Just gently walk your hands up the back of the left leg. Your knee can be bent. Just bringing the left leg towards you, towards your face. And then just hug the left knee once more into the chest. Open the left knee to the left and place the left ankle on top of the left right thigh. Palms might be on your abdomen or palms down alongside you. And once more start to sway the knees from side to side. As you sway in one direction, the hip will lift up on one side, and then the opposite hip will lift when you move in the other direction. Your swaying can be a little bit or not. Opening up the inner lower groin, the lower lymphatic system. Modified figure of four, or an upside down pigeon. And then very gently bring your knees back to the centre and hug the left knee into the chest. And supporting that left leg, place the left foot on the floor. And then bring the attention to the right side and hug the right knee into the chest. And then start to make small circles with your right knee moving in the hip socket in one direction. And then circle the knee, the right knee in the opposite direction, and just moving the upper leg, femur in the hip socket. And then hugging the right knee into the chest. And dropping the hands to under the right thigh to support the right leg as you raise the right leg up to the ceiling. Maybe extend the right heel and just point the toes a couple of times, just feeling the stretch at the back of the right leg. And then walking the hands up the back of the right leg, bringing the right leg towards the face a little bit. There can be a bend in the right knee. Just stretching out the leg. And then bending the right knee into the chest, supporting it, and holding the right knee as you open the knee to the right and place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Palms might rest on your abdomen or palms down alongside you as you just sway the knees very gently from side to side, and your hip will lift slightly away from the mat. Just massaging across the top of the bottom area, and that upside down pigeon or figure of four, opening the lower groin area, but also the outer hip area, the piriformis muscle, the muscle joining the connecting from the hip to the top of the leg on the outside. And then very gently hug the right knee into the chest. And hug the left knee into the chest, so that both knees are hugged into the chest. And just rock gently from side to side. So there's a choice here, really hugging the knees into the chest, and that will reflect as you rock further up on your lower back. Or you can let the knees drift away from you slightly, and that will aim your back a little bit lower down onto the ground. And you might find a comfortable spot for you somewhere in the middle. So the yogic way is to have your knees possibly slightly away from you, so as your tummy is doing some of your lower abdominal muscles are doing some of the work, and you're not using your hands quite so much to support you. But both ways are valid, whatever works for you. And then the other way, hugging the knees into the chest. And as you breathe out, let the knees drift away to arm's length. And just do this a few times to your own breath pattern.
Just enjoying the massage across, up and down that spine. So in particular, this seems to work around the part of the spine, lower vertebrae, where it does all the lifting and heavy duty. It's very satisfying to just massage along here, and it's your L4, L5, lower vertebrae that seem to benefit, particularly around here. And then just hug the knees into the chest again. And as you breathe in, just gently raise your left leg to the ceiling and your left arm can be bent at the elbow up and behind you. Your chin comes down to your chest. And then breathing out, hug the left knee into the chest. And then breathing in, raise the right arm, right leg. You can stretch it behind you or just a little bit behind you. And then breathing out, hugging the right knee into the chest. And once more on the left side, raising the leg and raising the arm behind you. You can extend your left heel as an option, and then hugging the left knee into the chest. And again on the right side. Stretching and then hugging the right knee into the chest. And then holding behind the thighs, maybe clasping the hands, just raise both legs up to the ceiling. So in answer to your question, so yeah, these are totally impractical, because you can see us exposing my legs totally, and just slightly sway from side to side. So it's a mini inversion. If you prefer to hold the legs in another position, then do that. The backs of the thighs, you can hold the calves, you can bring your hands inside the thighs, upper legs or calves, whatever works for you. If you hold your inner upper thighs, then your legs go a little bit wider. So just go slightly from side to side. And then bring the legs back together, hug them into the chest. Just once more rocking from side to side. And then supporting the legs as you place the feet one at a time on back to the ground. Just gently let the knees sway from side to side. We're going to think about coming up to kneeling, but if you like to have support under your knees, then I can go and get you a blanket to make it softer under your knees. I just need to know, or you can have yourself to a blanket if you would like that for your knees. So we're going to roll to the side, to the right, away from the heart. Just stay here for a moment to orientate to the change. And then taking your time to come up to a seated position. And would anybody like a blanket?
Yes, I'll get a blanket.
Would you like me to get it for you?
I can get it.
Sure.
Anybody else want a blanket?
Just while we're waiting for the blanket, just stretch your legs out. Just lift the flesh out from underneath you. And just bounce your legs. Just once more rotate the ankles in one direction and then in the other direction. And then very gently lengthen the body and slide the left hand out to the left, bend at the right elbow and just stretch out the right side, chin in, looking either down or you can look up or somewhere in the middle. Just be comfortable with your neck, tummy in. Press the left hand down, stretch the right arm up, lower the right arm, and then just slide the right fingers to the right, tummy in, bend the left elbow, and just stretch laterally over to the right. You can have the elbow bent or just stretch a little bit more, and then stretch up with the left arm and lower the left hand. And then just slide the hands down both legs. You can have your legs slightly wider apart, just as nod to coming forward. There's no stretch or stress here. If your hands easily hold your big toes, then you can hold your big toes, and that's entirely dependent on your arm length, not on your flexibility necessarily. And then very gently just to sit up and just rubbing your legs, patting them, rubbing the arms. And whatever works, just a nice circulation booster. And we're going to come very gently then onto our knees. And hence that's why you might need a blanket to make it comfortable. If anybody's not comfortable, please say, because I can modify it and alter it. So just kind of say. And then we're going to start. There's the option to come back to the chanting again, or just mentally count to 5. So kneeling up, just lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, hands up, stretching up, and breathing out. Hands down. If you want to come to kneeling, fine, but if that knackers your knees out, then don't. And then breathing in, hands up, and then breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breathing in once more, hands up. And this time, as you breathe out, softly bend your knees and come to your elbows on the ground, almost curling in. If you want to stretch your arms out, that's fine too. Slide your hands towards your knees as you kneel up. Breathing in, stretching the arms up. And breathing out. Lower the arms and bend your knees and slide your hands along the ground. Elbows on the ground, or if you'd like to stretch them out a little bit further, that's fine. Come to slide your hands back to kneel up. Looking forward or up, but careful if you look up, and again we'll do the same. Lowering to stretch the hands along. Sliding the hands back, up, and again, bending, extending the hands. You can feel you're getting to the upper back here. And then this time, as you come once more to sliding the hands out, slide the hands back and come to tabletop. And just take an in and out breath here and tabletop. You can just wiggle the bottom from side to side. And as you sway the bottom from side to side, there's an option to turn your head as well from side to side. So I tend to turn my head in one direction and my hips are going in the opposite direction, but whatever works for you is fine. And then coming to all fours again, sliding the hands back to kneel up again. Hands up, stretching up, looking ahead or up, only if it's good for your neck. Breathing out. Lower the hands. Slide the hands onto either your elbows or just stretch your hands out. And then come back to tabletop again. And this time dipping the back, looking up and breathing out, round the back chair.
chin comes to chest. Breathing in to the back. And breathing out, round and chin to chest. And dipping back. And round and chin to chest. Come back to neutral. Slide the hands towards you to kneel up. Stretching hands up. Rounding, slurring the hands. Come to bring the hands onto the ground. Slide onto the elbows. That might be enough, or you can slide your hands totally forward. And then sliding the hands back to tabletop. And you can stay here by either swaying the hips from side to side, or classic cat-cow, dipping the back and rounding the back. Or if you want to take it a stage further, so I know you won't be a fan of this, you can round the back and come to tucking your toes and coming into downward dog. Otherwise, just stay where you were. Lengthening the back and then thinking of lengthening the legs. And I think mine is staying put today. And then just walking the dog, bending one knee and bending the other knee. And then lowering both knees back to the ground. Untucking the toes, sliding the hands back to the knees, and then moving up again. Hands up. Hands go out to the side, hands to the ground, sliding onto the elbows, stretching the arms out. Sliding the hands back to tabletop. And then optionally, you can either sway from side to side with your hips or dip the back and round. Or then come to tucking the toes, and this is optional to come once more back into your downward dog. Walking the dog by bending one foot, extending the heel of the other leg, and then bending again. Alternate walking the dog. Extend both heels, and then coming back once more to kneeling. Sliding, untucking the feet, sliding the hands, kneeling up, stretching up, and then arms out, on into child, extended child, toe, back to tabletop. Option to tuck the toes into downward dog, walking the dog. Bending both knees back down to the earth. And then walking the hands from the tabletop slightly forward so as it's an option to come into up dog. Looking forward or up. And then coming back. And make fists with your hands. Rest your forehead on your fists. And bottom is sort of half in the air. Very calming for the nervous system to have the head forward. And then very gently release that and come to sitting in a cross-leg position. If cross legs aren't good for you, then just have your legs out. And just have the hands on the knees, or hands in the lap. In this tradition, you have, if you're going to have it in the lap, you're going to have the left hand on the top and the right hand underneath. And just as you breathe in, close your eyes, and as you breathe out, the end of the first breath is 1. And then count the end of the second breath is 2. The end of the third breath is 3. And get to 4. And when you get to 5, go backwards. So the next breath is 4. And the next breath is 3. 2. And then 1. And then just release that breath and breathing in. Just circle the hands to the top, maybe fingers meet, maybe they don't, and then breathe out. Circle the hands back to the heart. Breathing in, circle the hands up. Breathing out, bring the hands back to the heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Sorry about that. Slow. Last one, as you breathe in. And now this time, just opening your hands to the side, breathing in. Breathing out, back to the heart, chin to chest. Breathing in, opening the hands out. And breathing out, chin to chest. Breathing in, opening out. Breathing out, chin to chest. Breathing in, opening out. Breathing out, chin to chest. And last time, breathing in and breathing out, chin to chest. And now we go through the body again, but in a slightly different way. There's a slightly different chant for this, and it connects us to every part of our body. So as you breathe in, open your hands out, and breathing out, just touch your feet or connect to your feet. And that is the earth, the physical world. So you breathe in, opening out, and breathing out. Here, the chant connecting to the earth is Om Bu Bu H. Just once more, opening out and breathing out. Om Bu. Bring the hands back to the heart centre. And the next one is the lower abdomen, which is Om Bu Va. So breathing out, in, and as you breathe out, bring your hands to your lower abdomen, Om Bu Va. And that's the astral area, the desire and linking to the breath and the world of becoming. Breathing in, hands out, and breathing out, Om Bu Va. And breathing in, hands out, and Om Bu Va. And the next one is only fractionally higher up, it's at the navel, and that's Om Suva, and it's a causal. So it's a silent world of the mind, it's a world of emotion. You feel things in your tummy. So breathing in, hands out, and then Om Suva. Should bring it back to the navel. Breathing in, hands out, Om Suva. And breathing in, hands out, and Om Suva. So the next one goes back to the heart again, and it's Om Maha, M-A-H-A-H, and that is emotion. So breathing in, and it's Om Maha. Breathing in, hands out, Om Maha. And breathing in, hands out, and Om Maha. And then the next one is the throat, which is Jamah, Jamah, which is the world of creation and generation. So breathing in and breathing out. Om. Breathing in, going out, and it's Om. And breathing in, hands go out, and it's Om. And the next one is the mid-brow, which is the world of intuition, and it's Tapa, T-A-B-P-A-H. So breathing in, hands out, it's Om Tapa. Breathing in, hands out, Om Tapa. And breathing in, hands out, Om Tapa. And then the final one, which is the crown head, is Om Satyam, S-A-T-Y-A-M. So breathing in, Om Satyam. Breathing in, and Om Satyam. And then breathing in, and Om Satyam. And then drop the hands either to the heart or back in the lap again. And just take a couple of breaths, connecting once more to the whole body, the whole of you. We've connected to all the aspects of our inner self, both mentally but also through the body as well. And then just take a bow for yourself for the day ahead. Thank you. And the